Hi guys, hope you're good. Trust your day is unfolding pretty well. Okay, so I thought to do something different from what I've been doing. So I want to talk about bullying, Bullying, and this is another episode of Thought Central with Uche. My name is Uche Akomas. And if you're new to this channel, I know you'll be wondering what Thought Central is about. Okay, so Thought Central is a program that is designed to inspire a positive change by changing the narrative from my little corner. Okay, so this is what I do here. I talk about life-related issues which are designed to inspire a positive change. And today I want to talk about bullying. Why do bullies bully? I know that you and I have at some point been bullied, or we have bullied some people. No, I've not bullied anyone, have I? No. No, I'm not a bully. I haven't bullied anyone. But this particular topic was inspired by a story I heard. So I heard a story about an elder sister who accused her younger sister of bullying her. And I was kind of surprised because when I hear bullying, what comes to mind is someone who is powerful, bullying or intimidating someone who is weak, or someone who is influential, intimidating someone who is not influential. So it's between someone who is superior and someone who is under there. For me, it hasn't been about maybe a weaker person bullying a stronger person. Now, bullying is a behavior which has been, in existence for as long as I can remember historically, and is being linked to kids on the playground, in school, and but the truth is it can happen to people of different age and in different setting. It could happen in the workplace, in church, in school. It cuts across even in the house. People get bullied in the house. So the main question is, why do bullies bully? That's the question we ask, and I try to also ask and find answer to. Why do people bully? Why do bullies bully? What is the reason behind bullying? But before I go to answer that question, I'd like to tell you what bullying is. What is bullying, by the way? So bullying is a behavior from one person to another that causes harm, designed to hurt, cause harm, or can cause distress to other people. Is an unwanted behavior that is designed to cause harm or hurt or distress to other people. So when you are when you set out to cause harm to people, when you set out to cause distress to people, make people feel miserable, you are bullying people. You are bullying that person. And there are reasons for bullying, right? Also defined as intimidation, insults, or humiliation. It can be related to age, disability, nationality, race, religion, gender, sex, sexual orientation, or any personal characteristic or hobby of an individual. You can be bullied for being a woman. You can be bullied for being a man. You can be bullied for your sexual orientation. You can be bullied because of your religious beliefs or your race. Some time ago, this has been in existence for so long. Blacks being maltreated, being insulted in the foreign countries. I'm in Nigeria, so we get to hear these things. Some time ago, one of my cousins went for her master's. I can't remember the country, but she said there was this, I think a Chinese or so, that She noticed that the guy was always avoiding her, the guy and the girl. So anytime she came into class or came in for lectures and sat somewhere and maybe close to them, they would just leave where she sits or where she sat and went somewhere else. But she would get up and go to where they sit, until one day she's like, am I not a human being like you? Just because my skin is black and yours is white doesn't make you any, superior to me. But these are the things we experience, right? So we have been having this racism and all of that for as long as I can remember. So people get bullied for all of these reasons, for being a woman. Some time ago I traveled to Bayelsa, Yenagoa, and coming back, I had a very interesting trip when I traveled, very enjoyable. But coming back to my base, I didn't have quite a good experience. I got to the garage to board a bus to come home. I was staying in my state then, in Abia State, so I went through Owerri because there was no direct bus to Yenagoa from Omahia. So I had to go to Owerri before for me to connect to Yenagoa, Bayelsa State. So I got to the garage. I noticed that the bus was loading, but because the front seat had been taken, I had to wait for the bus to get filled up so I could get on the next bus. So, I'm quite tall, yeah, and when I travel like this, I usually take the front seat by the door, not inside, like the front seat in the bus, right? So, and the reason I do that is for me to have enough leg room to stretch my legs, because what I notice is that when I get to my destination and before I alight, I have to sit for 10 more minutes or stand for 10 more minutes before I can walk. Sometimes my feet get swollen up. So I try as much as possible not to get into that problem. So the first bus got filled up. I got on the second bus, took my front seat, and the guy came and said, "Woman, no, they sit there. Woman, no, they sit down there." I looked at him. I ignored him. I said, "Why?" He said he has told me that women don't sit where I sat. So I came down. I alighted from the bus and waited for the bus to get filled up. I didn't want trouble that morning, and I didn't know what the reason was. So the second bus got filled up. I got into the third bus and I got there. One guy from another place came. "Women know they sit down there. Women know they sit down there. If you want to sit, go back, go back, go back." I asked him, what is the reason? Why can't I sit here? I am the first person to get on this bus, and I have that privilege or the right to sit wherever I choose. So why can't I sit on the in the front seat? He didn't give me any valid, any reason as to why I shouldn't sit there. I just ignored him. For that particular one, I said, if the heavens want to fall, let the heavens fall. I ain't going nowhere. So the bus, was loading. People were getting in, boarding the bus, and then it was time for us to go. Okay, so now where the problem even started was, this young man came and asked if the seat inside was occupied. I said, no, it's empty. So I had to alight for him to come in. I told him, I hope you don't mind coming in because I need to sit here by the door. He said, okay, no, he doesn't mind. So the guy that told me that women don't sit in the front seat, that particular seat, came and said, why, and asked me why the guy had to sit in and I'm sitting up. I told him, this is where I want to sit and I need here, for my legs, I need leg room. The guy started talking. There was nothing. He did not call me Asha. One thing in Nigeria, once, a woman doesn't do what some men that, want, they'll just start calling you Asha, prostitute and all. He said all he wanted to say to me. I didn't breathe a word to him because it wasn't that VIO disturbed, women or disturbed them if they carried women in front. or road safety disturbed them. So there was no reason whatsoever as to why a woman should not take that particular seat in the front seat of the vehicle. So the interesting part was even some women joined him to abuse me. And they said,